Hey, it's Chris Miles. It is episode 12 of New on Music Row, jam-packed with all kinds of stuff, including a little bit of a review about some of the things that we talked about 2 weeks ago. And you know what? We'll see you in just a little bit right here on the Rise Network. Hey, it's Chris Miles. Welcome to episode 12. And in French, if I can remember my French from a long time ago, I think that's episode 12 is how you say 12 in French, if I remember correctly. Don't Google search it, because if I'm wrong, I don't want to know I'm wrong. Anyway, it is episode 12 right here, New on Music Row, right here on the Rise Network. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you all had a wonderful and safe, happy 4th of July. And the only way to really know if you did that or not is to pick your hands up and raise your fingers and shake them like this. If you have all 10... well, actually 4 fingers and 2 thumbs, right? If you have all of those, then you had a good 4th of July. If you didn't, well, then hopefully you're recovering and recuperating and the damage wasn't too bad. But either way, you probably had fun because you blew something up, including your fingers. Anyway, welcome to the episode. I'm Chris Miles. It's New on Music Row. If you're new here, we got a lot of stuff going on. We talk about some of the upcoming songs that are released to radio on this day. We talk about the songs that we talked about last week and where they ended up as far as trending is concerned. And we've got a couple of special features in the show. We like to celebrate birthdays around here, so we'll give a little birthday shout out to some famous people in the industry. We'll talk about some of the things that happened in the music industry on this particular date, which is June 11th. And I've got 2 special things lined up for you. These are in every episode. We feature an artist. It's called the Rising Star Spotlight, somebody who I think you should be paying attention to because they're just about to break into maybe not superstardom, but definitely stardom status. Or maybe they're on the rise and they're getting there and they'll be there soon, but it's somebody that I think you should be watching or paying attention to. You probably will enjoy their music. And then last but not least, I do a little pick of the week. It's the person, or maybe not even person, but it's the artist or band or song that I think deserves a little bit more love. And this week, I'm going to be asking you to take the blinders off a little bit and open your mind to an artist who I think you may appreciate. There may be some things about this particular individual. You may not like some of her music, and you may like some of her music. So we'll get to that in a second. But right now, it's the episode. Let's talk about what we did a couple weeks ago. Hopefully you enjoyed the 4th of July special. I see a lot of you watched that. Totally appreciate that as well, of course. But a couple weeks ago, we talked about the songs that were coming out. These would have been songs that were released to radio on June the 27th. We started off with Rattlesnake Preacher from Ashley McBryde, and if you saw the CMA Music Fest on Hulu, you got a sneak peek of that song a couple days before it got released, and it was an amazing performance. That show was incredibly awesome. I hope you watched it. If you didn't, go back, watch it on Hulu. No, it's not a plug for Hulu. It's a plug for the show, because I think you're going to enjoy it. A lot of up-and-coming artists and a lot of artists that you know as well, and some great duets that you probably would not have been able to see unless you saw that, including Rascal Flatts and a very certain special someone. I won't give it away because I think you should watch it and check it out. But so we had on the very top of the list and again, these are in no particular order. It's just a matter of, stuff that I think that you'll like and stuff that I think is going to do well on the radio. And in this case, and streaming as well. And in this case, Rattlesnake Preacher by Ashley McBryde, taking a look at what the streams were like. So right now we're at 289,084 streams. Again, these are just numbers that, will grow as the song gets popular. But if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Ashley McBryde, of course, we all know who she is. She's up and coming. She's in the stardom platform. I mean, she hosted the CMA Fest. So, she's already there, right? And if you don't know her, well, then take a listen to her. She's got some great songs. Light On in the Kitchen is one of them. One Night Standard's another great song. Never Want to Be That Girl, which is with Carly Pearce. By the way, I'm going to give away the little hint there. It was Carly Pearce and it was Rascal Flatts that did a duet on the CMA Fest. But anyway, that's it. And then my favorite song from hers, Brenda, Get Your Bra On. You got to take a listen to that and tell me what you think about that one. All right, so then we're moving on to the next one. We had Two Pair from Kane Brown. And that one did really well. Actually, a lot better than what Two Pair would have done for you in poker. He has over like 3.7 million streams already, but it's Kane Brown. I mean, you know, everyone knows Kane Brown, and he's got some great stuff out there. Backseat Driver is a great song from him to listen to if you haven't already. That's all over the radio, so you probably heard that. All right, moving on, we had King of the Island, Nico Moon. That landed at just over 200,000 streams, which, you know, kind of where we thought it was going to fall. Nico Moon's kind of one of those up-and-coming rising stars, and I think you're going to like King of the Island if you take a look at that. Also, Boat Song is another great one from him, and then Good Time, which is kind of the one that put him on the map. Moving along for the top 5 picks from a couple weeks ago. Can't say last week because we didn't have one. We didn't have a top 5 last week. We had a top 10 of your favorite, well, what I thought would be good, like patriotic or 4th of July celebration, freedom celebration songs, that kind of stuff. So check that episode out if you haven't already. Moving on, we have Tim and the Glory Boys. This band I think you are absolutely going to love, especially if you're kind of like into the country bluegrass music. Their song, Slow Go the Days, a little slow as far as the streams are concerned, but like I said, they're up and coming. Not a lot of people know about them. So, you know, you may want to start to dive into them and see what's going on with them. They ended up at about 194,000 streams, so about where we thought they would. But like I said, give these guys a couple more songs, and I think pretty soon you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that band's awesome. And then rounding out the top 5 from a couple weeks ago, we had Harper Grace and Kelsey Hart with a song called Freedom, which actually did really well, 375,000 streams. A great song to check out as well for that. So that was the top 5 from 2 weeks ago. Now, let's move on to the top 5 from this week. And again, these are in no particular order. They're just songs that are going to be released to radio today. And you probably, a couple of them you may have already heard. They may be available on other streaming platforms and things of that nature already. And a couple of them you might not have. So let's take a look at this week's 5 picks, right? Starting off, Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton. And if I need to tell you who they are, well, then let's have a talk. Come in a little bit closer because you might be new to country music. And if you are, great. Awesome. Let me tell you a little bit about Miranda. Let me tell you a little bit about Chris Stapleton. Miranda, of course, from Longview, Texas. And, you know, Kerosene, the song that put her on the map, probably the one that everybody thinks about when they think about her. If not, you probably think about Gunpowder and Lead. Or maybe you think about a song called Something Bad, which she did with Carrie Underwood. Or maybe you know her from a song called The House That Built Me. And then she's got other songs as well, too. These are just some of my favorites from her as well. Chris Stapleton, I mean, Tennessee Whiskey, right? Of course, Chris from Lexington, Kentucky. White Horse, which back in the day when I was working in a radio station, my boss told me, oh, that song's terrible. It's not going to go anywhere. And it was like huge for him. And then my personal favorite from Chris Stapleton, You Should Probably Leave. And I'm not talking about leaving the show. I'm just, you know what the song's about. Anyway, so the song that's coming out from them, A Song to Sing, check it out. It's awesome. It's amazing. And I think it's going to be one of those where people are going to start digging into Miranda Lambert again because of this song. We'll see how it goes. Up next from New Zealand. And by that, most of you probably go, oh, who's the country star from New Zealand? Most people go, he's from Australia. Well, he's actually from New Zealand. And, of course, I'm talking about Keith Urban. Straight Line out on the radio. It's an amazing song. It's exactly what you would expect from Keith. It's his sound, his up and go attitude, his party vibe that he has going on. Also, did you check out the video of him, the really cool video about the blind girl that he interacted with while he was doing his rounds? When he plays live, he goes out in the crowd and he walks around. Check out that video. Search for it. I'm going to tell you what. It's going to pull your heartstrings, and you're going to fall in love with Keith Urban even more because it's such an awesome video. The way that he connects with her, it's absolutely amazing. Speaking of connect, let's connect with some of Keith's other songs that you probably know. Somebody Like You. Again, all these are huge for him, so you can pick your favorite song and take a listen to it. Making Memories of Us, another one of my favorite. I love Wild Hearts from him. I also like a song called The Fighter that he does a duet with Carrie Underwood as well. And then, of course, Days Go By. So that's the 2 of the 5 picks for the 5 picks this week. How you doing so far? You hanging with me? You good? Good, because the next one is my favorite band, Old Dominion's got another song out. It's called Man or the Song. Again, it's Old Dominion. You're going to get either a party vibe, or you're going to get like that cool funky vibe, or you're going to get that Maybe it should be in the bedroom vibe. I don't know. Anyway, Old Dominion, great band. I'm looking forward to actually seeing them tonight. Going to be awesome. The show is going to be tremendous. I've got my sign ready. If they do that, right? You can bring a sign and request songs, and if they read your sign, they'll play your song. Yeah, I've got mine all set. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I will tell you some songs to check out from Old Dominion. Of course, Snapback, awesome song. Love that. Hotel Key, that's that, bedroom vibe going on there. Yeah. And then Song for Another Time, that's my personal favorite of theirs. So if you know it's my personal favorite, you probably know what's going on the sign. Anyway, Making Good Time, absolutely love that song. And then my last but not least, Break Up With Him. I love it because the video is so cool. It's a nod to Back to the Future. It's a cool vibe. I mean, but that's the way those guys are. Like, you just go to a show and you just feel like you're in a party mode, which is why I wore this shirt, because I'm trying to promote a party mode here as well, too. The little Hawaiian shirt. You like it. I know you do. I do, too. It's awesome. Anyway. All right. So, Old Dominion, 3 of the 5 songs from the week. Moving on, we're going to Chase McDaniel, Lost Ones. I fell in love with the song the moment I heard it. It's got this little, bluesy kind of underground vibe, so to speak, to it. It really kind of digs up underneath. It's absolutely amazing. Take a listen to it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Chase McDaniel from Greensburg, Kentucky. Some other stuff to check out from him. He's got a song called Project. Oh, man. I love that song. That's the song that was on repeat last week, by the way, and the song that's on repeat this week we'll get to in just a second. Relapse, another great song from his to check out. Drop Your Tailgate. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? And then Made It This Far as well. Now, here's another thing. Project, song by Chase McDaniel, it's got an acoustic version. I don't think I've kind of told you the guys this yet, or maybe I have, but I haven't really kind of spoke out about it a lot. I really love when artists break it all down and run acoustic and do like an acoustic show or acoustic versions of their songs. I think it just brings a whole nother level to their music. Just a whole nother area for you to connect. It's raw. It's unplugged, kind of like the MTV thing, right? Yeah. But to me, it just resonates with me. And if you're a person or a fan who enjoys acoustic music, make sure you check out Project, the acoustic version from Chase McDaniel. You're gonna love it, probably just as much as I do. And last but not least, we have Dylan Carmichael. She's Gone. That's hitting the radio airwaves today. Dylan, of course, from Bergen, Kentucky. His music just cuts deep. He's got so much truth in his lyrics, and he just knows how to get down and get raw and just kind of express the way life really is. If you haven't checked out Dylan Carmichael yet, you should. Make sure you check out She's Gone. Also, check out Raised Up Wrong, Son of a... Yeah, that's the title of the song. Drinking Problems. And then I love this one, Hot Beer. Take a listen to that song and let me know what you think about it. It's such a great song and such a great concept that just hearing the title, you're probably already going, ooh, yeah. It gives you that vibe as well, too. So these are the 5 picks of the week. Again, in no particular order. A Song to Sing, Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton. Straight Line from Keith Urban. Man or the Song, Old Dominion. Lost Ones, Chase McDaniel, rather. And then last but not least, She's Gone, Dylan Carmichael. So those are your 5 picks for the week. Take a listen to them. Let me know what you think. Are they great? Do you think something else should be in there? Well, that's what the comment section is for. Or hit me up on social. Let me know there as well. Again, I totally appreciate the things that you say, and I totally appreciate the likes, the shares. Let everybody know. Tell everybody about New On Music Row. The show is growing, and we are going to have so many more awesome features coming up, including maybe some behind the scenes like shots at some of the upcoming tours and stuff like that are coming up, because I'm going to be at some of these shows and I'll be taking some footage we might be able to share with you as well. Moving on to the Rising Star Spotlight, or what I like to call the Rising Star Spotlight, right here on New On Music Row. This week we're featuring a gal who is from Powder Springs, Georgia. She's kind of, once you hear her name, you're going to be like, where have I heard that name before? And then you're going to go to 90s country and you're going to be like, oh, wait, she's the daughter of so-and-so. Yeah. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Tyler Reese Tritt. And if you haven't checked her out yet, you need to check her out. She has got a distinctive voice that'll captivate you from the moment you hear it. She is a remarkable talent. And if you haven't figured out who her dad is yet, well, it's Travis Tritt. So there you go. And of course, with that much talent in the family, you just saw how the apple and the tree and everything just kind of melded all together and just created this amazing talent. Do yourself a favor. Check out her music. Perfect is the debut single that she released a couple years ago. Her newest one, I think this was released maybe 3 weeks ago, if I remember. Probably 4 now, because I got to remember the 4th of July thing. Texas Hold'em. Oh, man. And it's Hold Him, not Hold'em like the poker game. Hold Him. Great song. Absolutely, you're going to fall in love with it, especially if you're a person who loves lyrics and the stories that only country music can tell. Porch Light is another great song from her to check out. And then again, You Lost Me. Now, this gal kind of made a mark for herself when she was 14. She recorded a version of Sometime Love Just Ain't Enough, which, like in the late 80s, I think more like early 90s, was a duet that was recorded by a gal by the name of Patti Smythe and a guy by the name of Don Henley. You probably know who Don is more than you know who Patti is. But Patti was famous in her own right. But Don, of course, coming from the Eagles, it was an amazing ballad that came out, I think it was the early 90s, actually. And it was just one of those songs that you just fell in love with. And Tyler Reese Tritt's version, you're going to fall in love with that as well, too. Like I said, her voice is just so distinctive, and it just, the tone, the overall tone in her voice, and she's got this like raspiness, like she smoked a few cigarettes in her life, but it's kind of like, not like Janis Joplin, but she's got a little bit of that rasp in her voice like Janis Joplin as well too. And her music is absolutely amazing rather. She's gonna be famous, of course. Dad may have helped in that process as well too, but she's making a name for herself in the world of country music. Now, here's the thing about her. She's got multiple talents, not just on the singing level, but so many great things. Of course, obviously her dad exposed her to the stage at an early age, at the age of 3. As a matter of fact. So from 3 to 14, you can imagine all of the awesome stuff that she was going through. She went from dance, she went into like gymnastics and piano. She's even a black belt in karate, and just so many talents that this young gal has. And I'm telling you what, you can feel it in her music, and you can see it in her videos, and just in her overall performance level, right? One of her coolest and greatest achievements, the one that she holds the most dearest, the one she says is the most cherished, is her first sold-out show at the Roasting Room in Buffleton, South Carolina. So again, she's somebody who's building a name for herself, building a tradition, and building a heritage in only the way that you can in country music. So do yourself a favor. Check her out. Tyler Reese Tritt, again, like I said, daughter of, Travis Tritt. She is our rising star for the week, the Rising Star Spotlight. She's from Powder Springs, Georgia. Check her out. And make sure you listen to that Sometimes Love Just Ain't Enough cover. I think that will be the thing that hooks you. If not, either Porch Light or probably Texas Hold Him will catch you on as well there. So that's the Rising Star for the week. Again, Tyler Reese Tritt. Check her out. So, moving on to birthdays. It's time to celebrate an individual who was born on this day, June 11th, 1947. He's from Detroit, Michigan. He was an associate of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and in 2006, he had a song written called Bless the Broken Road. He co-wrote it with Marcus Hummin and Bobby Boyd. It won a Grammy for Best Country Song. It's been recorded by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. It's been recorded by Marcus Hummin. And you probably heard the Rascal Flatts version as well. There's also a Christian version of it as well, too. You may have heard that version. But the individual that I'm talking about is Jeff Hanna. Happy birthday, Jeff. What a great song. And what a great day to be born, right? Great day to be alive. See what I did there? Anyway, all right. 1973, moving forward just a little bit. A guy by the name of Scotty Emmerich, born on this day in Hollywood, Florida. You probably don't know Scotty unless you're kind of one of those that has followed a particular artist in the industry, or unless you're one of those that like reads the liner notes. Remember those liner notes? Yeah. Do they even have those anymore? Yeah, they do. They're just in a little section you got to dig for. But why is Scotty so important? Well, let's put it this way. He co-wrote a bunch of #1 songs. We'll start with A Little Too Late. How about Get Drunk and Be Somebody? You'll probably know this one, As Good as I Once Was. Yeah. My favorite, Whiskey Girl. Yeah. Love This Bar. You see where I'm going with this? Yeah, I think you do. Beer for My Horses. Yeah, does that work? How about I'm Just Talking About Tonight? Now, do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, Scotty Emmerich co-wrote all those songs with Toby Keith, and his birthday is today. So, Scotty Emmerich, happy birthday. Happy, 56 22nd birthday, as a matter of fact. I think I did my math right there. All right, so 2 great birthdays we celebrated today. Let's move on to what happened in the world of country music on this date again, June 11th. We're going back to 1967 first. Following the departure of the new Christie minstrels, rather, a guy you may or may not have heard of, had a song called The Gambler, had a song called Lady, which he co-wrote with Lionel Richie, or Lionel Richie co-wrote with him, depending upon how you know that story. Yeah, he formed the First Edition with his friends Thelma Camacho, Matt Settle, and Terry Williams, also from the new Christie Minstrels. Easy for me to say. That was back in 1967. Of course, Kenny Rogers, and you know who Kenny Rogers is, right? Moving on to 1987 on this date in country music history, George Strait was #1 on the U.S. singles chart with All My Exes Live in Texas. Yeah. Written by Sanger D. Schaefer and Linda J. Schaefer. You know what that song is about, right? Did George have all those exes, though? I don't know. But anyway, that was on this date in 1987, rather. Moving along to 2000, back in the day when I was doing weddings, this was one of the songs that a lot of gals were like, hey, I want to dance to my mom with this song. Or sometimes it was, I want to dance with my dad to this song. And more often than not, the groom wanted to dance to this song with his mom. The song I'm talking about, Leanne Womack. Yeah. #1, I Hope You Dance, right? Remember that song? Yeah. Along with The Sons of the Desert. This short, of course, hit #1 on the U.S. country chart. It won a Grammy for Best Country Song and was nominated for Song of the Year that year as well. So on this date, June 11th, 2000. Moving on to 2012 and the last one in the On This Date category. Luke Bryan was #1 on the U.S. country charts with Drunk on You. He was probably drunk on you way before that, just saying. But, anyway. The third single from his album, Tailgates and Tan Lines. I mean, he's from Georgia, right? So, he probably had a few beers in his time, right? Anyway, a little look at country music history. Hope you enjoy that as well. Again, if you have any recommendations or of things you'd like to see on the show, make sure you leave comments, reach out to us in all the ways that you can. Like, subscribe, and do everything you can. Keep us growing so we can be here for you. And so we can do my favorite part of the show, which is my weekly pick. It's either a song or an artist or a band or maybe even a writer who I think deserves a songwriter, who deserves a little bit more love from the community. And on this one, I'm going to ask you to open up your mind a little bit because some of you may already know who this gal is. And you may be like, oh, yeah, that's the whole, new country music thing. This week, I'm featuring a gal by the name of Tanner Adele, and I think you may like her. I think you need to open your mind a little bit. She's got a few songs that you're probably going to be like, well, that's not country, kind of like we said about another particular gal a couple of years ago with the song that she came out with, the Texas Hold'em song, right? Yeah, that one, that gal. You know who I'm talking about. The Queen, yeah. Tanner did a song with the Queen, as a matter of fact. She did a cover of Blackbird, which is a Beatles song on Beyonce's album, the country album that a lot of people are like, that wasn't a country album. Here's the thing. Country has been pop since, the late 90s, early 2000s, all right? Let's be honest with ourselves. Shania Twain was kind of one of the ones who turned country pop, right? And that's kind of where we've been going ever since. You still got, the grassroots songs and some of the other deeper, the outlaw country and all that kind of stuff. But, a lot of the popular country songs nowadays either have a rocking edge to them or they have a pop edge to them. And Tanner Adele kind of falling right into that. She's got some great stuff. I think you should listen to it. Do yourself a little bit of a favor and open your mind a little bit. She's got her recent song, Snakeskin. Absolutely amazing. I've loved the song from the moment I heard it. It's got some great lyrics. It's got a little bit of a sexy vibe to it as well, too. So that's on the mark, so to speak. Love You a Little Bit is another great song from hers. It's the one that's got the most streams on it. You may have heard that one, and that may have been the song that made you go, oh, this gal's, kind of interesting. Check her out. The one that really put her on the map was Buckle Bunny. May not necessarily be your taste. It's a little more on the hip-hop side of country music, but it's pop. It's really what it is. She's got a great song called Going Blonde as well because she dyed her hair. It's also a tribute to her mom. And another great song from her to check out on the Twisters soundtrack. Twisters, like I said, that movie that just came out a couple years ago. Yeah. Too Easy. Great song. Love it. It's poppy, but it's a great song. And it was great on the soundtrack and in the movie as well. Giddy Up Gorgeous, another great song from her. And then Whiskey Blues, I think you're going to fall in love with that song as well. Tanner, of course, from Lexington, Kentucky. Now, here's the interesting thing about her. She was born in Lexington, Kentucky, but then she was adopted by a family in Manhattan Beach when she was just a day old. So this gal's got a really interesting story. She's done a lot of research. She's done a lot of the trying to figure out who her parents are, research, and the genealogy things and that kind of stuff. She found one of her brothers not too long ago. So she's putting the pieces together. And think about how that's going to impact your music and your sound and the way you write lyrics and the way you look at the world. That's why her music often explores themes of identity, family, and also personal transformation. And I think if you're one of those people that resonates with people who have struggles, we all do, right? We've all got struggles at some point or another, right? If you're one of those people, I think Tanner's going to kind of resonate with you and give you the feels that you need to get through some things, shall we say. Her musical journey began early. She taught herself guitar, and she studied commercial music at Utah Valley University. So this gal knows what she's doing. She's put together an ultimate package, and she's got great music, and I think you need to give her a chance. Her music does blend elements of country, pop, R&B, and she calls herself she's labeled herself, I should say, a unique glam country sound. So she's got there's another song out there called Trailer Park Barbie, and I think that kind of resonates or encapsulates the country glam sound that she's talking about. Like I said, I heard her. I believe it was Love You a Little Bit was the first song that I heard. We had it at the radio station, and I was like, this is a great song. And I went to my boss, and I was like, hey, we should put this in our new music category and see what happens with it. And he was like, oh, no, it's not the thing and that kind of stuff. And then, I think it was maybe 6 months after that song from Tanner came out that the Beyonce song came out, and everybody was doing the thing that they were doing with that. And look what happened to it. I mean, it made its mark. It did what it was supposed to do. And now we have got artists like Shabuzi and some other great artists, and Tanner Adele as well, too. So do yourself a favor, open your mind a little bit, take a listen to some of her stuff. I think you're probably gonna love You a Little Bit, like I do. You probably get into Snakeskin as well, and then Giddy Up Gorgeous and Whiskey Blues probably are going to take you away, and then you'll probably get into Too Easy, and you'll be like, you know what, she's good, and she's got some talent. She has a great voice, and she's got some great lyrics as well too. Maybe it'll be a way for you if you're on the older side and you've got younger kids and you're trying to figure out how to connect with them, that kind of stuff. Maybe play a little Tanner Adele while you're talking to your kids and see what they say. Maybe they'll get into country music as well too. That's kind of what happened in my house. We played country music, and now our youngest is like, oh man, I love country music. So much so that I'm going to go see Morgan Wallen. Yeah. Anyway, no, it's going to be a great show. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Morgan's got some great stuff. I just joke around just because, I joke around. That's it. But I love all the artists out there and really appreciate everything they do. And I really appreciate everything that you do for us as well too. So that's been the show for today, episode 12. Like what I say, 11, 12 is how you say 12 in French. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did. Stick around. There's more great stuff coming up for you on the Rise Network. And make sure you check in next week so you can see how everything ended up and what next week picks are going to be. Until then, you stay safe.